Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my messy room. And today was the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. We have our new winner, and that, of course, is Austria, number two in the betting odds. And there's a lot to unpack this year. But first of all, let's see what we've got here. So in 26th place was San Marino with 27 points. Nobody got 0 points. And okay, that's not true. Nobody got 0 points all together. So like with the jury and the televote combined. Two or three got 0 points from the televote. And that was Switzerland and UK and maybe one other, but I think it was those two. And that shocks me. But anyway, San Marino 27 points. 25th place Iceland with 33 points. 24th place Spain with 37 points. I love Melody. That was my favorite of the big five songs this year. So very sad. She's still a diva. 23rd was Denmark with 47 points, tied with Luxembourg for 22nd place with 47 points. Portugal, 21st place with 50 points. 20th place was Armenia with 72. United Kingdom got 19th with 88 points. 1 point ahead of them at 89 was Norway with 18. We had Malta at 17th place with 91 points. Lithuania at 16th place with 96. 15th was Germany, so not the lowest ranked, and neither was the UK of the big five this year. And that was 151 points. So quite a jump between 15th and 16th place. Poland, Justina, 52 years old, performing 30 years after she represented Poland initially. 156 points. 13th place was Latvia with 158 points, finishing on the right or left side of the board, which was amazing. Good job, Latvia. Netherlands, 12th place with 175 points. Finland, my winner, 196 points overall in 11th place. Switzerland, 214 points, all from the jury, nothing from the televote, which is shocking, but still a top 10 finish. A lot of people thought that Switzerland would be a jury bait song. Ukraine, 9th place with 218 points. Actually kind of tied with Albania for 8th place because they also got 218 points. But I think how they do it is based on who got more points with the televote is the higher up in whatever placing. France, 7th place with 230 points. She got a low amount too. That was very shocking. Greece, 231 points at 6th place. And in our top five, Italy, which was my lowest ranked one personally of the top five, or sorry, the big five, 256 points. Sweden, 321 points for 4th place, which was the betting winner and didn't end up happening. Estonia, surprisingly, 356 points from the from the jury and the televote. Way up higher than I would have expected them to be. I would have thought the jury tanked them, but they didn't. 357 points for Israel, which was leading the board for a little while, but Austria came in clutch with 436 points overall, coming in first place. This year, the juries were not as focused on one specific country. It was a split jury. They were all over the place. So I am seeing people complaining about it on like some of the fan sites and social media things, especially on Facebook. Oh, the juries did it again, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, it was way more split up this year than it was in previous years. Like there were lots of countries getting points. Latvia was getting points from the jury. Greece, France, Israel, Austria got probably the most of the jury points, but it wasn't anything like the last couple of years. So anyway, people going a bitch. That's just how it is. So this year, well, the grand final went for about 4 hours, 5 hours almost, starting at 9 o'clock Switzerland time, which is 12 p.m. my time in BC, and it opened up very, very well. There was a lot of people, including myself, that thought Celine Dion would actually make an appearance because she allegedly flew to Basel, unconfirmed reports for sure, but there was a picture, but again, who knows. I was hoping the whole time that she would make a surprise appearance, but she didn't, which is fine. It's fine. So we had the opening video by the hosts. Nemo did the code. It was actually a really, really good transition from the hosts into Nemo's performance. And then we had the flag parade, which was so much fun to watch. And one thing I noticed today, too, was the music that they have for the Eurovision Song Contest this year uses elements of the code in it. Like parts of that. If you really listen, it's there, and I'm sure that other people realize that. Maybe I just didn't, but that's fun. They did that with when it was held in Melma last year when Loreen had won the year before with Tattoo. The yeah, like the yeah. Anyways, voting started at 9:17, so 17 minutes into the show, after we were introduced to our new host, Michelle Hunziker. So Sandra Studer, sorry, Hazel Brugger, and Michelle Hunziker opened the contest. Michelle didn't have the ability to go through the semifinals and kind of get her footings with the hosting, so there were a few times in the final that were a little awkward. A little bit of that cringe factor that I love so much, especially up in the green room when they were doing like I forget the name of it, the Swiss horn segment. She was tripping over her words. I do that all the time too, but whatever. Hey, you're in front of like 200 million people watching, or however many it is. You're going to have nerves. So voting started before the show itself, like before the performances went. Norway went first with Kyle. His song was pretty good. He was a little pitchy this time compared to his semifinal performances, but still, I think he still did really, really good. Great way to open the show. He didn't end up too bad in terms of the awards, like the points and stuff like that. So definitely better than Norway did last year, but this is probably going to continue the trend of Norway sending English songs. It's hard to say, though. See, this year, I wonder if Norway had sent Ulveham or Gotte, or Ulveham by Gotte, this year, if it would have done better, honestly. Because this year, only 4 or 5 English songs made it into the grand final, and everybody seemed to favor the songs in national languages. So since it was in Norwegian last year, maybe they would have done better. I don't know. Who knows? Every year the audience is all over the place and the juries are all over the place. So, but Kyle did great for Norway. Next up was Luxembourg. I was surprised at the low televote score for her. She elevated the performance throughout the whole season, and it was a very, very fun song. Of the two, I want, if Emmy had performed Like a Party a little bit better in semifinal 1, and say that one had gone through, I wonder if that one would have performed a little better. I don't know. It's hard to say. That's a question that we just will never know because it didn't happen. So we'll deal with the here and now. But yeah, I think that Laura's performance was great. The costume change is still lots of fun when she's surrounded by her dancers, and I think that's a unique and fun way to do it. Next up was Estonia, Tommy Cash, Espresso Macchiato. Look, I've said before many times, not my personal cup of tea, but I know that it has a place. A lot of fans liked it. The televote really, really liked it. Israel's the only other country that beat it in terms of points from the televote. And they were like super close. But Tommy is a charismatic performer, and people enjoy him. It's kind of one of those joke entries. I'm a little shocked because a lot of people in Italy were really upset about the song. It kind of pokes fun at them a bit. But then you hear from the other side of the coin that there's just as many people that find it funny. So I'm always a fan of someone that can laugh at themselves or laugh at like things about that are said, just because it's it's all in the fun in general. So but good for Tommy coming in third place for Estonia. Is that their best? No. Estonia has won before, but I mean, that's a pretty good score. Wait, did they come in? No. Did they come in third? No, they didn't come in third. Fourth place. Let me go back to those results. They were third for a while. I think that's where I'm getting it mixed up here. No, they were third. 356 points. So, wow. And for a while, we thought Switzerland was going to be a potential for a winner as well too. But Estonia beating Sweden is really surprising to me. But again, that's just how it is. So there's a lot of upsets and a lot of things, but it's not just the jury. So let's just, the juries didn't rank Estonia that high. That was televote. Okay. After that, we had Israel, which was almost the winner for a little while. Oh, I hope I don't have a power outage. My power just went boop. It's a thunderstorm, potentially, we're expecting. Israel. New Day Will Rise. Huge I think it was the televote winner. Kind of not that surprising. I mean, we've seen what happened last year as well, too. I mean, there's no getting around it. Given what's going on right now and the controversy with the political side of things, which again is not supposed to come into Eurovision, but it does, and with the wars on that side of the world, especially in Israel, it probably would have been a catastrophic event if Israel had won. Maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. I'm not trying to be rude, just saying. And the other thing is had they won, would they, like when Ukraine won, would they have had to partner up with another country to host the contest? And if that's the case, what country would do it? Is there a country that would risk doing that given the situation? I don't know. It's a hypothetical that's not going to happen because it didn't happen. So Israel didn't win. They came super close. Austria ended up winning overall. So, but, great performance. I noticed that the difference between the semifinal and the grand final, I think I had pointed out before, as I noticed that it looked like a piece of her costume had got stuck on the cage in the semifinal, but that wasn't the case in this one. It was just free flowing, and she still looked like a bird in a cage, but it was very well done, and her voice was amazing. One of the best voices, of course, along with Greece and Albania, and just solid performances. So congratulations to Israel as well. Lithuania, another one that's not my cup of tea. I'm not a huge rock song person. I mean, Finland is a little different. It's kind of like rock pop, but just a different vibe. I wasn't feeling Lithuania this year. It was another shock qualifier, I do feel. But you know what? Congratulations to the guys. They did pretty well. And for the fans of the genre, great. That's fantastic. It's nice to have different genres of songs in the grand final. You want to have a nice mix of things. And that goes towards Latvia as well. Spain is next. My second favorite song, Melody, I Love You. I'm so sad that you came in last of the big five. But no matter what, Melody. Es una diva valiente, poderosa, su vida sin jardín lleno de espinas y rosas, resurge bailando, con más fuerte que un huracán. Ya verán, esa diva soy yo, esa diva soy Melody. I don't know if that actually is grammatically correct, because I'm not actually knowing much about Spanish. But anyways, Melody, I love you. You did amazing. Great performance. My favorite staging pretty much of the entire contest this year. So I don't know what else to say. I'm so sad that the televote and the juries didn't give her a high score, but none of the top big five were at the bottom this year, like the very bottom. So that is good. Ukraine was next. Ukraine ended up top 10. I didn't think they would this year. There was a lot of discourse around the Ukrainian song, and there's continued discourse about them, potentially getting pity votes and that kind of stuff. The song was interesting, very 70s inspired vibe. Having the female part in there really elevates it too, and they hit the notes dead on. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I think they did a pretty solid performance. And the lead singer, though he has panic attacks and things, I think he did really well considering. So good job to Ukraine. After this, Sandra sang Canzone per te, which I think was her song from 1991 that she represented Switzerland with. And Michelle Hunziker sang Nel blu dipinto di blu, which actually I recently heard on an episode of a show called Disventure Camp that I watch. It's a cartoon series on YouTube. It's Odd Nation Cartoons. You should check it out. And they played it last Saturday just before Eurovision week started. It was played by and sung by one of the characters. And that's like one of the most famous Italian songs from Eurovision history from the 50s, 58, 57, 1957, I think. It's either 57 or 58, somewhere in there. Or 60. No, I think it's 57 or 58. Anyway, it's a very famous one, though. Volere is also another word for it. So good job to them. Then we got the United Kingdom by Remember Monday. They did so much better this time than at the semifinal. They were on time. They weren't pitchy. I mean, there were certain parts that they looked like they were, even with some of the other performers too. It's like, okay, this is the last time that they have to perform these songs this week. Every day they've had to do their song at least once. And leading up to that, it's like 6 months of your life is the song that you're performing at the Eurovision Song Contest. So they did very, very, very well. Much better than they did before. The jury gave them some points this year, which is great. The televote gave them no points, which is unfortunate, but the jury was able to help them out, and they came mid-tier, so not at the bottom. Good job, UK. But what does the UK need to do? Because these girls can sing. Maybe the song just didn't resonate with people. It was kind of a mismatch of a lot of things. A lot of people said the same thing about uh, Czechia. Was it Czechia? No, Croatia. Croatia song, which I actually liked. So who knows who we're going to get next year? Sendu Tada Hikaru, the singer from Kingdom Hearts. She lives in England or UK right now. Sendu Tada. Have her do a Japanese song. Have Japanese elements. Why not? Why not? Get her to have a British or Scottish or Wales. Is that it? Maybe or maybe no. There might be another one. The United Kingdom. Have them have a songwriter join her and stuff. So is Skrillex from UK? I don't know because she's partnered with Skrillex before. Anyway, who knows? We'll see what happens next year. UK did great. I think much better than semifinal. So congratulations to them. It's a fun song. Austria right after that, Wasted Love, coming in, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth in the running order. Some people were wondering if the song would get hurt from it. Obviously not. JJ did a really, really good performance. Not one of my top songs this year, and I really honestly didn't think that the that the statistics would be broken this year. Because again, people will argue that this song is not like The Code, but it is. It's got that pop-eratic element to it. It's too similar in genre to what The Code was. So this is like the first time in a long time that a similar song to the winner the year before has won. So, but congratulations. Like, I'm not trying to take that away. I'm just pointing out a statistic. If you look at things, 2017, Portugal, we had a very, very slow and, in my opinion, boring ballad, but it worked. The whole crowd liked it. The next year, they weren't feeling that kind of thing, and they went for an upbeat pop song by Netta from Toy. Then we had another ballad that won, which was Arcade for Netherlands. Had 2020 gone ahead, there's a bunch of songs that could have won, but Iceland seemed to be one of the favorites, as well as the Roops song Fire and Cleopatra and Uno from Russia. I mean, we don't know. We'll never know. 2021, we got a rock band for the second time in history since Lordi won in 2006. 22 was Ukraine, which a lot of people do feel was a pity vote thing, but it's kind of like a rap / folk song kind of thing. Loreen won in 2023, of course, with Tattoo. And then we had Nemo with The Code last year, and now we have JJ with Wasted Love in 2025. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many countries try to submit operatic style songs next year. Will Kate come back was that her name? I think the Australian representative in 2019. Will she come back for Australia next year? She's an operatic singer. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so Austria, Black and White, a risk, but again, sometimes you have to take the risks. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Look at Cyprus from the semifinal. They didn't make it through, and it was a risky song and a risky staging. Maps from Ireland 2021, one of my favorites, my favorite to win, but just too much to do and just didn't resonate with the crowd. So I still love you, Leslie Roy. Iceland after that, Vibe, didn't get any points from the jury. The only country that didn't get any points from the jury, and that's really sad. The guys at least got some from the televote, 33 I think it was, so at least they didn't, nobody ended with 0 points this year, period, which is great, and I'm so happy about that. But, I figured Iceland wouldn't be ranked super, super high. It's kind of a youngerish style song, I think. Maybe not as appealing to older people that are doing most of the voting and paying and stuff like that. But hey, again, a different genre. It's a fun song to have in there, like Norway and Denmark and so on. And it's just great. So good job, boys. They did really work hard this year. People were calling them the Icelandic Jedward. I wonder if they got to meet Jedward. They probably did, and I just didn't see it. But I know Jedward was at Eurovision this year. So Latvia, I'm so glad. Like, this one was a huge, huge builder for me. It's still not a song that's on my playlist, but they're very Cirque du Soleil style performances. Beautiful imagery, beautiful singing, melodies, everything. Like, they were so, so good. And I'm so happy that they got points from the juries and from the televote. And it's just a neat song. That one part where they kind of look like monkeys, like the long tails or the nymphs. Maybe it was meant to be nymphs, but kind of reminded me of monkeys. And they did a close-up, and I'm not sure because I didn't get to see much of it. I was looking afterwards, but I thought that when they closed their eyelids that they had like painted eyes on them, that we just didn't, maybe they were supposed to do something with the camera, and maybe I just missed it. I don't know, but very good, very nice performance. Then we had Netherlands, C'est la vie. His vocals were really good. He did have a couple of points where I think he was getting super emotional and, a little bit of a voice crack. But at the end, he was really, I think he was just relieved that it was done. And he did a pretty solid performance. So, Claude, good job. And very poignant with him in that little, I guess, his younger self dancing around in the mirror image. So good job. Next was Finland, my winner, Erika, absolutely amazing. In the semifinals, she kind of got scared a bit because the sparks came out and it did like a pop, and I think just freaked her out. That didn't happen this time. Flawless performance again. She was okay. I can't say flawless. She was a little pitchy off and on, but she commands the stage. She commands the audience attention. She commands the people watching, and it's possible that the wording or like the theming of the song might have turned people off, kind of like Malta's a little bit. But I mean, we had our three going into this year that were the 69th edition of Eurovision songs. You had Ich komme, which is I'm coming. You had Serving, which is originally Kant, which of course sounds like cunt. And then we had Milkshake Man, which sperm. So sadly, we lost Milkshake Man, and that's the EBU's fault, largely, in my opinion, because of the sound dampening from the crowds. They did it again tonight, too. But anyway, so Finland, amazing. Erika Wickman is a force of nature. She's amazing. I loved her performance. She was great, and I think that Finland should be super proud, finishing 11th place overall, just outside the top 10, but still amazing. Italy, again, the highest ranked of the big five, my lowest rank of the big five, but Italy is loved every year for their stuff. A lot of people didn't think Italy was going to do well this year going in. It wasn't a massive fan favorite, at least not in the odds. But what did we learn about the odds? What did we learn about all that stuff this year? Don't believe them. Austria, yes, won, but Sweden didn't finish as high up as I think a lot of people expected. They thought it was going to be first or second. So, uh, solid performance. I did go to the bathroom at that point because I had to pee. But it's, again, not one of my favorite songs, but I saw his semifinal performance. I saw a bit of the one today. Delivers consistent, good, classy vocals, song in general. So very good. Poland, Justina was great. She missed a high, I think she chose not to hit one of the higher notes when she was up in the air, which is fine. Totally fine. I mean, again, she's 52, and this woman is outdoing things that anybody younger than that could do. I'm 42, and I'm tired all the time. And there's other people that I know that are younger that are lazy and don't do anything. But this woman was amazing. She's a powerhouse. She's a diva. Es a diva. Justina es a diva. And she was a sport when they did that weird thing with the Swiss horn and tried it. And but you know what? I think it was a great staging. Another really, really elevated, fun one. The dragon really gives the fantasy element, the dancers, the spell kind of thing that they were doing. Gaia, Dana, Dana, Dana. I don't know the words, but that one's on my playlist. But it's a very fun, ethnic sounding song, and it was just fun. So good job, Justina. Germany was after that, and Abor and Taina, brother and sister, they did very, very well. Taina's vocals were probably some of the best they've been, period, which is good because she's had a lot of trouble going into Eurovision season this year with her vocals, having laryngitis and things like that. So I'm just glad that things worked out for her. Ballard, not really a song that I listen to a lot, but it was well received. I mean, they even got some jury points, which is great. How often does Germany get that? So good job. After Germany, Hazel was showing the Eurovision backstage, and the nail part was kind of funny. I don't know. I think she's been doing really good over the course of the three, the two semifinals and the grand final. And then I guess they probably also hosted the jury shows too. Did very well. The two hosts this year, the main hosts, Hazel and, oh my God, I said her name earlier. Hazel and Sandra were great the whole time. The new one, Michelle, was a little, she didn't have much chance to polish stuff by doing the other shows, but it was nice having the three of them together in this one. Even though there were little clunky bits, it still worked really well, especially in a much longer show. It's nice to inject a little bit of new creativity and new personality into things. So good job on that front. Then we went into Greece. Greece, Claudia performing Asteromata. Look, again, she has flawless vocals. I almost said lyrics and vocals together. Flawless vocals. This song is very poignant to a lot of people in Greece. Having that backup dancer with her, very good. Very elevating, helped lift things up there. And she performed very, very well. And the staging was beautiful, that rock there. It was minimalistic, but kind of in a similar sense to Ukraine of last year. Some people did say that it was reminiscent of what Jamala? Is that her name? Jamala? Did for Ukraine in 2016? Yeah. With the tree especially, but for Greece it was the tree on fire. Still, amazing performance. She was able to deliver great lyrics, and then we have that outfit change right at the end too. Just phenomenal stuff. Greece was definitely another jury favorite as well too, but again, we had a split jury this year. It wasn't just specific to one country getting all of the votes. Like a lot of people are like, oh, the jury did it again, Austria won, it was not fair. Well, no, it was. They didn't put all of their votes towards one country. Like they spread the love around this year, and that was nice to see. So the juries are not the problem, you guys. They are not. And it would be nice to have the juries come back to the semifinals. It honestly would. We're getting a lot of really good, classy songs this year. And people said it was a weak year. It wasn't a weak year. It really wasn't. There's a lot of songs that were really good. And watching the stage shows really elevated them as well, too. So stop with the weak year stuff. Stop with the juries are the problem. No. That kind of attitude is the problem. Okay. Armenia was next. Parg, the Imagine Dragons, very alpha male style song. That's how a lot of people describe this performance. People were complaining on, as they do in the fandom sites, if it isn't about Israel being in it, or if it isn't about Sweden being overrated, or if they weren't upset about transgender people or gay and lesbian people or whatever. People were complaining about Parg and Gojo being topless, being shirtless. First of all, they're men. Secondly, it doesn't matter. It's the male or female body. Like, sexuality is looked down upon too much by people in the world. Why is it that war and that kind of stuff is fine, but anybody's bodies are looked at as bad? It just, I should not get started on this. But anyway, Parg did very well. Armenia's performance was great. Where did he end up? In the mid-range to the lower range, somewhere in there. But, he wasn't last place. He wasn't like a top 10, but he did do a lot of work. He elevated his performance. The guy's running in certain parts on the treadmill. He probably needed to be shirtless anyway because of the amount of energy you have to expand as you're doing all that stuff. You're going to overheat otherwise. So, I don't know. I think he did it well. I think that the costume worked. And it gave off very Armenian kind of ethnic bits to the performance. So he did very, very well. But yeah, people do kind of say, oh, the song sounds like Imagine Dragons, like thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder. That's the only one that comes to the top of my head when I think about them. But no, he did very, very well. So congratulations and good job. Switzerland, at least the camera problem didn't happen this time. We had an Austria 2.0 moment, like from last year, in the semifinal when the camera broke or fell or something. I think it just fell, and we could see like the audience, and we could see the turn on your lights now kind of thing. That didn't happen in the grand final, so that's good. I think it was projected the way that it was supposed to be projected, but a 0-point score from the televote, really? Like, what? I mean, in the end, though, Switzerland and Austria would have... I think Austria took the votes from Switzerland. And in a way, for those that were worried about the political aspect of Israel winning, it worked in the sense that Austria got the extra points they needed, because they needed 99 points to be on par with Israel. 100 points to beat Israel. They got just enough over to do it, to become first. Again, I'm not judging, I'm just saying. So it's very interesting that Switzerland got 0. They shouldn't have gotten 0. I do think that people should have given them some. Maybe they just felt that it was too boring in comparison to a lot of the other songs, but it's a beautiful ballad. I mean, she did very well, as best she could. And yes, the staging was a little, I don't know. They were trying to go for, it felt like they were trying to go for like a Barbara Pravi 2.0 voila sort of thing with new elements added to it. But voila to me was also a very boring performance. I don't know. Switzerland's song was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites this year, but it was considered to be a front runner for the juries. And the juries did also give them some points this year. So I'm shocked by the televote. I really am. But then again, Marius Bear also got 0 points from the televote for Boys Do Cry. So maybe people are getting tired of some of the ballads, but there wasn't that many ballads in this year. Unless I'm just unhinged. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to Malta, a completely different song from Switzerland. She was serving everything she possibly could. Her vocals were amazing. Her stage presence was amazing. The EBU hurt this song again by dampening out the cunts. We didn't get the cheers, we didn't get the jeers, and we didn't get the cunts. So, there's probably going to be commentators talking about that. I hope that Gabe and Tom and Alicia, Michelle, and everybody that does commentate on Eurovision brings that up and points that out, because that's a very egregious thing in my opinion, that they use the sound dampening to really make it look like the audience wasn't into anybody's songs this year. Come on. That's, if you watched any of the live streams from people that were in the arena, you could see that they were into the songs. So just it hurt, especially the televote only sections. But Malta did great. Malta did amazing. They're back in the grand final this year, as was Denmark. Amazing. Latvia, too, for a second year in a row. Great. Fantastic. I'm so happy for them. So who holds the non-qualification thing right now? Is it Azerbaijan? I want to say it's probably Azerbaijan at the moment, because they haven't qualified since 2022, right? So that's 3 years now that they haven't. 23, 24, 25. Ever since they stopped allegedly buying their songs from Sweden. Allegedly. But who knows? Maybe they'll have a comeback story next year. Maybe Ireland will have another comeback story next year. We'll see what happens. Okay. Serving is one of my favorite, top 5 songs this year. I'm so glad that she did well. And, now that it's all done, she can party with her besties. There's, all of the contestants this year seem to be so happy with each other. And I love that and very supportive. That's what it's all about. After Malta was Portugal, another song that was a shock qualifier for a lot of people. Napa with Deslocado. Very chill house vibes, maybe. Very just calm band. I don't know what you would call the type of music, but that was another pee break for me. But they do it very well. Chill vibes gave people a chance to have some chillness after Malta and before Denmark, which then Denmark brought us up into the 90s again with the Euro dance. There's a radio station I listen to called 90s. And it's dance 90s music and stuff. Some of them I have heard before over here in North America. Some of them I haven't. There's some really raunchy ones on there that don't get played over here ever. So, but I am a child of I was born in the 80s, so my childhood was the 90s, and I have a fondness for that kind of stuff. Sissal brought Denmark back into the final after 5 years. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, after 6 years. Well, this is 5 years of not getting in. 6th year they did. So congratulations, Denmark is back in the final this year. And that was one that people were not sure on. So we got some nice surprises this year overall. 2025 was a surprising year. Odds weren't completely correct at all. So I wonder what's going to happen next year with the bookies things. Okay, after Denmark, which gave an amazing performance, by the way. We ended up with Sweden, which was the odds winner and came in fourth place after Estonia. And, they did great. Again, they did a great stage show. It's very similar to their one from Melodifestivalen. And it's fine. It's a song that still is not stuck in my head. It's not one that I listen to very often, but the fandom did love it. But watching the live show, looking at what we could see of the audience, because they did bring the cheers back after the song was finished, um, for each of the countries, just not while the song was performing, which was really annoying. And this, I'll just say this now while I think about it. During the time that the countries were giving their jury points, those people were allowed to drone on and on and on, but they cut the mics of the performers pretty much right after they finished. They got to say like "Thank you, Europe" or something, but you could visibly hear that they cut it to the rest of us watching from home. I don't know if people in the arena could hear, but that was a little sus. Anyways, Sweden didn't get as much cheering as Finland or as Greece even, or as some of the others, as Malta. So I kind of had a feeling right off the bat that they were not going to be the winner this year, just watching that. So, but it's another one of those songs that is definitely popular this year. So, and Kai is not going to be hurting at all. Like they're probably going to go on and have a great career as well. After that, the Arena Plus hosts Sven and Melanie were in the. It says they were in the streets of Basel. Were they? I think that they were actually just in the next door arena, which itself was neat. We heard Waterloo. They broke a record, I guess, by having 36 or 37,000 people singing Waterloo collectively. So that's great. I really thought there was a chance Celine would show up and perform on that middle stage there, but it didn't happen. So, but anyway, but that's great that they were able to bring that many more fans in. Can you, like, the amount of people that got to see Eurovision in that general area must have been insane. So anyway, our last three countries then went up. France, again, didn't get a high televote score, which is surprising because it was lauded as a favorite by a lot of people, but maybe just didn't hit as much with people at home. And it was a beautiful performance about being a mother and having lost her mother. And the sand worked really nicely. It's got that effect where it kind of goes like, spirals around, like Celine Dion uses, but with water. When she does My Heart Will Go On, or has done it in the past. So that's what it reminded me of there. But beautiful performance. I thought it was nice. And just apparently jury loved, but not as much with the televote. Same with the UK. San Marino, Gabri Ponte, Tutta l'Italia came in last place, but didn't get 0 points. And did he get jury points, or was that Italy probably gave him points? I don't remember. Or was it just televote? I don't know. But anyway, I figured it was going to be San Marino or Iceland that was going to come in last place. It was San Marino. No, he didn't come in last place. Wait, my gosh, what am I talking about? I think I'm getting mixed up again. Better pull up that other picture that I have here. Oh yeah, San Marino did come in last place, 27 points overall, with Iceland just above. So, he's got Eiffel 65. He did Dragastal Dinte and many others. Did he sing? I think he sung some parts, but they had other people singing the main parts, and it was just a fun party song. Someone's got to be last place, I guess. But, it was a nice second last song. And Albania being the closer was a shock for a lot of people. Because Albania, maybe it was the producer's way of apologizing. Because Albania always was given crappy slots before. Like, in the grand final especially, they got like second place or second running order many times. So last is like an amazing elevation for them. But their song was really, really good this year. Jerem did very, very well. Where did Albania finish? My favorite reaction was Beatrice's reaction, the lead singer, the lady, when she saw that they came in second for a little while. Like, just the shock. They were a top 10 finish this year. Congratulations, Albania. Especially being being the sole representative of the Balkans, I think. Because everybody else got knocked out. But Albania, good job. Very, very good job. Coming above Ukraine in the overall scores as well too. So, but just such a good performance, and that reaction will live on forever. Like, she was so excited. She's like I loved it. I thought that was amazing. Okay. Then we had the first recap, which takes like 3 or 4 minutes. And then we had the Swiss Legacy. So Peter, Sue, and Mark with Yosenzate. Now, I did not know this song. This is from 1981 for Switzerland. And I guess it was the next generation. So his kids were there, which was a nice idea, a nice little homage to it. Then we had Paola with Cinema, Luca Hani with She Got Me, which was my favorite of the four performances, and John's Tears with Tout l'Univers, which came in second place in 2021 next to Maneskin. So, second place or third place? Oh, I'm starting to second guess myself. Did France come in first or second? I mean, I'm pretty sure Switzerland was second. I could be wrong. But John's Tears performed twice because he also got to do his other song from 2020 in the second semifinal. This is another place I thought Celine might show up as a potential performer because, again, she's allegedly in Basel, but she didn't. So, then we had our second recap, which again took like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And let me just say this too: the timing, according to the schedule that I'm looking at here, like they gave us a little schedule. Oh, it's too bright. I'm sorry. Maybe I can do this. There we go. You can kind of see, maybe, no, it's very blurry, but anyway, it's a timing thing here, and that's what I was following as I was watching along, and I'm like, oh my God, like they are almost verbatim right on time, but it did make it a little awkward in some of the interviews in the green room, like especially with Italy, but I think that was more of Michelle's thing. No, because it was awkward with Hazel too. I don't know, like those of you watching, do you know what I mean? It was kind of awkward. They were like talking over each other, just trying to stick with time. I'm sure they have in-ear pieces telling them that they have to hurry things up, but no, immaculate, like on time. And I think that the contest even finished earlier than it was expected, possibly today, because it was going to be like a 4 or 5 hour event. So after that, we had an amazing, outstanding performance by Baby Lasagna and Karia. So Baby Lasagna represented Croatia last year with Rim Tim Tagi Dim, and Karia, of course, with Cha 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 the year before, both of them coming second place to the winners. But the two of them worked together, and they not only did a mashup kind of like song battle off of Rim Tim Tagi Dim and Cha Cha Cha, it became a medley or a melody, mashup. And then their new song, which just debuted the other day, actually came out, the dabbing one, and it was so well done. The energy level was amazing, just outstanding. I loved that. That was so fun to see that. And then they brought up Joost as well, Europapa. Thank you, Europapa. So yeah, it was a very, very poignant message, I think, to him, and it was just fun. Michelle then discussed instruments at Eurovision, which of course was the part with the Swiss horns that was, Justina took part in. It was a little awkward. Nemo performed Unexplainable. Nemo's outfit in this reminded me very much of like the Sailor Starlights from Sailor Moon. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. That's all I could think of when I saw it. I'm like, oh, Nemo's wearing an outfit that's kind of inspired by that. Maybe not, but very powerful performance as well too. And I know people are going to be complaining about it because that's another thing people like to do and just complain about this, calling it mental illness. No. Nemo is non-binary. They go by they, them. That's how it is. There's no need to be rude. Some people purposely calling them a him. Some people purposely calling them a her. Some people criticizing that they like to dress in female presenting. You know what? Performers for years have been doing that anyways. David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, they are the first ones that come to mind. Drag performers, like, as well. Like, I don't know. People just freak out about stupid things. And again, why do people freak out about that? And they freak out about nudity, but war seems to be fine. Humanity is fucked. Sorry. Okay. Nemo did an amazing job. Brand new song. I've never heard it before. I don't know if they had put it out before today. Maybe today was the worldwide debut, but what a great way to do it. Just like Laureen did with I can't remember the name of the song now, god damn it, but it's one that I really liked. So gives them a chance to, because Nemo performed in at the beginning of the show and did their song "The Code," and then did a new song. So it was like a bookend sort of thing. We had the third recap, and this time it was in reverse order, but like literally right after they did it, they closed the voting. So it's like, okay, you have your chance to vote. This is your last chance to vote while we're showing you this stuff in reverse order. But is there really enough time? Like, I don't know. The jury voting sequence started and went for about half an hour. It wasn't too bad, but like I said, it's interesting that they let the spokespeople speak longer than the actual performers at the end of their performances got a chance to speak. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. That if anything, if I had any critiques this year, it's that and the fact that they did the sound dampening so much. Like, there was really no need for it. Israel last year was less liked than this year, is what it felt like. And the delegations, especially, were far more nicer to each other and respectful. And the performers seemed to be a lot closer to all of each other than last year. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, where was I going with this? Those would be the only two things that I would really like. Get rid of the audience sound dampener, get in the live arena so that the televoters have a chance to actually hear what's going on. And also, like, let the performers talk. Come on, people. So we got the jury votes, and then Michelle talked to the artists in the green room. Of course, they did kind of favor Sweden and Austria a bit, and then Austria and Switzerland. And then obviously they talked to the one that's the leader. And then, of course, we had the televoting sequence, which went really well as well, too. There was a while there where I know people were probably shitting themselves seeing Israel way up in number one. Again, I'm not saying it to be rude. I'm just saying, just given the political standing and how many people do feel about them being in the contest during a war right now and stuff, it could have gone really, really, really bad. We could have been having a very different conversation if Israel had won this year. The song was great. Like, she performed it very, very well. And it's not supposed to be political. But stuff is happening that is egregious. And who knows what would have happened. So, again, Austria won. And that's who we're celebrating. We're celebrating all the artists, but Austria won this year. So congratulations. Congratulations to all of the singers. And JJ was very touched. I think that was his mom that came running to him and was just, it almost made me cry. If you go back and watch the video that I posted, if it's still up and wasn't taken down, of my reaction live to the announcements and stuff, it was so cute. It was so sweet. And then, of course, he had to go and get mic'd up. They didn't bring up his staging like they did with Loreen. They actually had him just perform. And every time he grabbed that trophy, I was terrified. I'm like, oh no. And they even made fun of Nemo breaking this trophy last year, early on. But I could have seen that happening again. It didn't happen. So that's good. But, when he grabbed it and he was, it was just, I don't know. It looked a little thicker than previous ones. So maybe they fixed it. I don't know. But either way, that was it. Eurovision Song Contest 2025 over for this year. ESC Junior will be coming out later this year, December, I think it is, in Georgia. And Austria gets to host Eurovision next year. And we'll probably see performances from Conchita Wurst. Maybe we'll get Colleen again. Maybe we'll have Taya and Selena. Oh, I would love to have them back. And many other fun Austrian entries. So, overall, Eurovision Song Contest 2025, I feel, was well run. There were little blips along the way, but nothing terribly outlandish, except for the one egregious thing that I still feel, that stupid sound dampening device that they use so that the people watching from home do not get to experience or hear what is going on during the song, whether it's cheers, whether it's people jeering like they did for Israel last year, or to Martin Osterdahl, or the cunts that, or the yum yums that should have been heard from Milkshake Man and would have helped him probably get through had it not been dampened like it was. And then, of course, yeah, that's really the only really big one, I'd say. But hosts were good. It took a bit to warm up to them, but I think overall it worked. And will we see a male host again? Will we have a female male duo? Will we have two male hosts? Will we have two female hosts? Will we have some non-binary people? Will Conchita Wurst be hosting next year? There's a conversation. Will Taya and Conchita? Taya Conchita would be a great duo to host next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking the ride and watching my videos. I know they've been long form. I'm trying to keep them under an hour, but there's a lot to talk about. And I love discussing Eurovision with people. I live in Canada. Not many people know about it, so please feel free to comment it down below. Please try to keep it civil. I do enjoy chatting with people about it, and I have a radio show called The Vision of Eurovision in Kamloops at CFBX 92.5 FM. It's every Friday night from 10 p.m. till 11 p.m. Pacific time, and it's all about the Eurovision Song Contest. And I have another show called Animé-d in Japan, Insanity on the Radio, which is turning 20 years old this year on the air. It airs Sundays live from 2 to 4. So anyways, you can find all the information in the description below, and I will see you guys again soon, hopefully with more videos. But again, let me know what you thought of the results this year. And Eurovision season is officially coming to a close for 2025.